Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a walk to Jamaica right now. I'm talking about a compound studio where we had one-on-one with Gramps Morgan. Right here in Jamaica. Let's have a feel of that interview.
Easy.
Blessed and give thanks. This is Yaad Settingz on Asaase Radio. And as I'm talking to you right now, I'm in a compound studio in Jamaica. And you know, Gramps Morgan is my guest. Gramps, how are you doing?
Everything higher, man. Thanks.
Oh,
Aquaba.
yeah. That's the same.
Yeah, man. Welcome home.
Thank you. So, Reggae Month. First and foremost, let's talk about it. What is the essence or the importance of Reggae Month to you, Gramps, in Jamaica?
For me, it is to remember and to keep pushing, fast forwarding the legacy of reggae music and the legacy of a lot of the artists that have passed away in the flesh. People like Dennis Brown, Peter Tosh, you know, that are no longer here. Bob Marley, Toots and the Maytals, my father, Ras Denrai Mark, and these artists have sacrificed so much for this genre to push it forward, to bring forth to so many different worlds. Jacob Miller. You know, you talk about these legends, Gregory Isaac in music that are no longer here, but their music is here. But every day there's a new child being born that may not know who Gregory Isaac is, that don't know who Dennis Brown is. You know, and every day we're losing more and more elders, you know. Just the other day we lose Family Man, which is, I mean, Family One, every bass player in Jamaica, all these young bass players has been learning to play the bass and learning reggae music in the past 25 years. Family Man was one of those bass players that was iconic. Flabba, Glenn Brown. There's just some musicians in Jamaica that are just iconic. And so to lose Family Man, you know, condolences to the Bard family and of course the Marley family. That he was like an uncle to many of Bob's children. We teach them how to play bass and drum. So, you know, it's important that we recognize during Reggae Month and visit all of these things. Remember all of these, you know, loving, hey, and all of these great, iconic artists, because, like I said, children are being born today and they don't know who Dennis Brown is. So it is our job, it is your job, it is Asaase Radio job to remind the people to play some good quality reggae music.
Definitely. So, me being in Jamaica, going around a few, I realized that it's like Bob Marley is on top of everybody. Everybody are talking about Bob. Why not the other artists?
Because
like what you've mentioned, like the Gregory Isaacs, the Peter Tosh, the Bonnie Wailers, you know, the Garnet Silks, and all that. It's always about Bob. Why?
Yeah, he's a blessed man. That's why. You know? And also, there is children. I must give it up to them. They have made it their duty to make sure the legacy of their father, they see it as an important thing, to make sure that the world remembers. They're not waiting on Reggae Month. They're not waiting on a radio station or a disc jockey to play their music. They're not waiting on a musician or a band. Themselves is making sure that, hey, this is Bob Marley, this is his music. And then on top of that, Bob music was very powerful. Bob music, his lyrics resonates with all of humanity. So that is the reason why I think everybody's just Bob, because he was that kind of artist. Not only Lagazee in Jamaica or for Reggae Month, but around the world. This man is Bob. You know, because when he was here in the flesh, he toured the world, brother. He sacrificed, he left his family at home. A lot of musicians today and artists don't want to leave them family. Some get one baby and two baby, and I say, well, I can't tour anymore. Come have a wife, no one. But when the music takes you on, you become a messenger for the music. A lot of those things have to go on the back burner. But at some point, you have to start to balance family, children, and that life with your career.
We're live on 99.5 in Accra, 98.5 in Kumasi, 100.3 in Cape Coast, and 99.7 in the Northern region, Tamale. Asaase Radio, we are nationwide, and this is Yaad Settingz. My name is King Lagazee. Right now, I'm in Jamaica, compound studio with Gramps Morgan. Gramps, let's talk about the Grammys. Now, as I always say, people say you have to be a manly, to win the Grammys. And just ended Grammys, you're looking at Burning Spear, Buju Banton, Beanie Man, Calibots, and Julian Marley. And at the end of the day, Julian picked it up. What is your impression about this saying that you have to be a Marley to win the Grammys?
Those are people that don't know what the hell they're talking about. You know, of course, remember what you just said, why Marley, first of all, he's blessed. His lineage is blessed. Let's know that first of all. It's a blessed man. Okay. On top of that, his children are pushing his legacy. They are doing proper business. A lot of the legends that have passed away don't have children that are doing the same thing. They've chose other occupations. They're not doing music. Some that are doing music not are really concerned with their father or mother's music. They want to do their own thing. They choose a different genre. So when the Grammy time come around, the name Marley is very popular. You know, so and that doesn't really have nothing to do with it, but it has influence, right? Secondly, the quality of work that they're putting out. Top of the, I mean, have you listened to how many times I told you I love you? Have you listened to the bass? Have you listened to the mix? Have you listened to the quality of Stephen Marley's voice on that song? And I can go on and on. So they make sure that they put out quality work. So now the Grammys now is not based on King Lagazee playing the song and busting the song in Ghana or busting the song in Jamaica. It has nothing to do. It has no bearing. What it has to do with Lagazee is that people that sit in the room, the voting members. So the people that vote in the Grammys, they are musicians, producers, radio personalities, engineers. Is the best people within the industry. It's not fans that are voting. If it was the fans, we probably would get it wrong all the time. But inside up there, and then people will say, even last night, Jay-Z said that, you know, a lot of times the major record companies that are behind these artists have influence. They do. That's a fact. I believe that. I'm on the Grammy board in Nashville, Tennessee.
So you voted?
Of course. Every year.
So who did you vote for?
That's confidential. But like we said, the reason why the name is so popular. So I think what we should do is take a page out of this family's book on what they're doing and preserving their legacy. Gregory Isaac had children. Dennis Brown had plenty of children. Garnet Silk have children. All of these artists have children, but are they loving their father's legacy? Are they pushing it? So that is why. Remember, I said Dennis Brown was Bob Marley's favorite singer. Did you know that? Dennis Brown was Bob Marley's favorite singer. So here it is where silhouette, silhouette, silhouette. The legacy of Dennis Brown, but who is going to push his catalog? No, me or you can't push that because we don't have the rights to that.
Of course.
So when we talk about your question of why when people vote, is the name is the most popular. Their quality of music is incredible. Their mixing is incredible. The musicianship is incredible. Hey, when you're the Super Bowl champ, you're the champ. You can't talk about it. When Mike Tyson was knocking out people years after years. I said, why Mike Tyson not knock out everybody? Because he put in the work. Don't hate. Appreciate. Simple. Marley. The man put in the work, sacrifice, and build it for his children. And then his children understand their duties and responsibility to their legacy. And they push it. So me and you must learn from that. That's why I'm pushing the legacy of my father. Morgan Heritage is touring, sacrifices. Sometimes you don't get paid. Those things Bob Marley did. Went to Zimbabwe and performed and paid his own way to bring his own band to go and play when Zimbabwe got independence. People don't talk about these things. So now we are seeing the fruit of that. With Damian and Rowan and, you know, we can, they put in the work and the quality of their music is incredible. So I think that if there's anything, we should, as radio personalities and industry people, start to push the estate of Dennis Brown and say, hey guys, you guys need to push your father's music. And Gregory Isaac and Garnet Silk and Jacob Miller. So those are the things that I think is more necessary. It has to be wondering what about Marley.
Gramps, you made mention of we radio personalities or radio people go after some of their children's and all that, especially like Gregory Isaac and all that. You see, sometimes when we contact these people, they don't pay attention to us. Me personally, I have tried my possible best, you understand, to link some of these people, but they don't give me
what happens.
That attention. You understand me? And that is the main reason why I decided to come to Jamaica myself to meet some of these people in person and tell them that, yo, listen, it's about time we have to do this. So it is not that we are not trying. We are trying, but they are not giving us the attention.
Yeah, and then the other part, remember, I say our industry is not very organized, right? The reggae and dancehall industry is just every 5 years you find a superstar breaks out like a Shaggy or a Shabba Ranks or a Beanie or a Bounty that goes international. Excuse me. Secondly, you find that if a man will look on Lagazee and he's not have a big platform or he has a big superstar show, a lot of artists is going to be like, who that? So you also have a responsibility to build your platform, to push it heavy. So that's when a man say, yo, Lagazee is in town. What? Lagazee, me have to talk to Lagazee. That will be the thing. So I bump up into that too. Like if I go into a hip-hop concert and a guy say, yo, Gramps, and I'll be like, who is that? That's the reality of where our industry is. But if a man look and I say, okay, oh, that's a Marley or a Shaggy or a Shabba Ranks, those names are household names. Or that's a Buju Banton, those are household names that have transcended and crossed over to hip-hop and transferred to pop and to Latin music. So the platform, so it's the same thing with media, that if you're not MTV, if an MTV come on Jamaica, everybody are going to find MTV now. Why? Because they have a big platform, right?
Of course.
So now people have to know, say, Lagazee are the man when it come to Ghana. So that when a man here say, King Lagazee is in town, everybody are going to run you down your face and say, oh, wait, I don't have no more fill. So that's what it's all. It's just the nature of the business, brother. So I implore you, keep pushing. You're doing an amazing job. I'll never forget when my first time coming to Ghana. This was one of the first man I used to come to my place every morning. Not true?
Definitely.
Every morning we eat breakfast together and then we hit the road. And
Definitely.
You take me around to all the media houses. And so you've been putting in the work.
Of course. Now, one thing I realized in Jamaica is that people take this music business very serious. Very, very serious. The players of the players of instrument and all that, everybody take their work so serious. Unlike back home in Ghana. What do you think make people take music business over here so serious?
Because we've seen the power of the music. We've seen the influence of the music. And then when we go and tour the world and play amongst great artists from hip-hop genre, pop. I mean, I've played amongst some of the greatest artists in the world. Stevie Wonder. I shared the stage with Stevie Wonder. Shirley Caesar. Macy Gray, Lenny Kravitz. When you do festivals in certain countries, reggae and dancehall artists are sharing these stages. Sean Paul, Shaggy have toured with the Rolling Stones as an opening act. So no, we've seen where we need to step up our game. You can still do your music, but the production, the rehearsal, all these things that make a great concert, all these things that make an artist professional, look good, smell good, sound good, hear good, everything of it, sound good and be good.
Definitely.
So you find that we in Jamaica, and we're still growing, we just was talking about upgrading this rehearsal room. You know, now you find musicians now are using in-ear monitors. Here it is right here. You can see these things. 20 years ago, you couldn't find this in a rehearsal room. Everybody just have some monitors, and, you know, now we're understanding by touring with artists like this and on the festival. You see, yo, you see what they might use? Yo, we need that in our full music. And I have to say, I have to give it up to Stone Boy, you know, Sakodi. You see when these guys are rehearsing and taking it serious, their live show. I'm not talking about as an artist or who are bandlers or who are bad tune. The live component. I saw Stone Boy do a show, I think it was a year ago, or I think one of his own show, and called it
the Beam Concert?
Beam Concert. And the production of how it, and why is he taking it serious? Because he's went to international and see it.
Yeah.
And say, but wait, burn up, boy, I do the same thing. Why we in Ghana can't do it?
Yeah.
And but wait, me just do a show with Mark Energy. Oh, we can't do it. So, you know, the forefront leaders, the Shatta Wale's, like Shatta Wale is a superstar.
Yeah.
But now he has to put into his production, put into his recording, put into the type of songs that he put out.
Mm-hmm.
That's called building your brand. That's taking your curve. So it's not just about putting out a song and putting on some nice sneakers and have 1 million followers. The business is more than that. I know artists that have way less followers, like on social media. And these guys are selling out stadium and they only got 50,000 followers on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of the artists get caught up into that type of, we get so caught up and say how many followers we have on Instagram and then we forget about the development of our talent. So that's one of the big problems. But I got to give it up to some of the artists in Ghana that are taking it to the next level. So, but it's going to take time. People like Reggie Rockstone that has been there, lived in America and come back home. And he was one of the forefathers who put your entry and have played international stages and come home and say, but it takes time. But you can see where the Shatta Wale and Chakordis and some of these rap, the Black Sheriff, they're understanding now and we're understanding the responsibility. So I'm proud of them. I'm proud of where Ghana music. Remember when I did the Gramps Mark? So them saying in Jamaica, I would say, words song take on to flesh.
Right.
So my words now have penetrated the Ghana music industry.
Mm-hmm.
Those who have come forward and said, Gramps, you have inspired me. And those who hide and say, hey, Gramps, don't do nothing. And then they go and do what I say.
Yeah.
My job is complete.
Definitely. One issue that is major in Ghana is issues to do with split sheet. You understand? In terms of, you're a producer.
Yeah. We still have that problem in Jamaica. So it's going to take time. One of the things we have to do is be patient with the progress.
All right.
But be steadfast. Split sheets are very important. So producers and musicians can get their credit. It's important. And it's part of the business. So split sheets, it's very important.
All right.
Those are some of the things, I'm glad you're talking about this, Scott. Those are some of the things that we spoke about at the Gramps Mark and Music Clinic.
Definitely.
So I can see that if you are talking about it is a topic. So,
all right, Gramps. So, what exactly is Morgan Heritage up to now?
Yes, we're in the studio right now working on a new album. Of course, we just did an album that we tributed to Africa that we call The Homeland, which we collaborated with. We brought together artists from Jamaica and the Caribbean and Africa. So you have artists from South Africa.
Were you surprised that it wasn't nominated at the Grammys?
No, not at all. Not at all. Because for a reggae band that we're known to do reggae for 25, 30 years, right? And then all of a sudden we come up with a jazz album or come up with an Afro-centric album, right?
Yeah.
So the voters don't know us as African artists.
Yeah.
So the people that vote in that category are pay attention to it. They don't know us. Yeah. They know Angela Kidjo and they know Berna and Davido and Shatta Wale and Boy. Those are the names they know. So for us, it was just it wasn't. We didn't do that album to say let's go get a Grammy. It was just to show the unity that it must happen. We don't want to just talk Africa. For years, Rastaman I say Africa repatriation. I want to live it. How many times you have seen me in Ghana?
So many times.
So many times. That there's some people saying, what you doing in Ghana? I remember I went to Senegal one time and a white woman from France, a white man from France, his roots is from where? Europe.
All right.
And he's looking at me and saying, what are you doing in Africa? I was like, I'm asking an African, he said, what is he doing? Because he's shocked. Because a lot of people talk about Africa and a lot don't never reach.
Yeah.
People hear about Morgan Heritage or Morgan family like Ethiopia, Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Togo, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Morocco, Zambia, Kenya, Uganda, all of these countries, Tanzania, we've been there. There's many people that have still not gone to not one country. I know people that never leave from my parish here in Jamaica, never come to Kingston yet. So these are the things that we that travel the world have to share with humanity, to say, go and travel, So my love for Africa, we speak it in the music.
Definitely.
For years, when Nelson Mandela was locked up, we said free Mandela. Reggae music was one of the only genres that was pushing the freedom and the release of Nelson Mandela. Let's remember that.
You're right. We live on Asaase Radio, the voice of our land on Yaad Settingz, and trust me, is going down. Gramps is kind of, showing us what to do and what not to do in terms of the business and also reggae music. 99.5 in Accra, 98.5 in Kumasi, 100.3 in Cape Coast, and 99.7 in the northern region, Tamale. Asaase Radio, we are nationwide, and we're live from the compound studio in Jamaica. Live, Jamaica. All right, Gramps, you're rehearsing with your band. What exactly are you guys up to?
I have a solo show. This is probably one of the biggest shows in terms of the platform, but I've played big shows with 200, 300,000 as a solo artist. I just did a big country show a year and a half ago in Nashville, Tennessee, with a big country band named Old Dominion, and it was over close to 300,000 people, and I was opening up, and there wasn't many Africans or Jamaicans in this crowd. But I'm going to Seychelles, so we're rehearsing now and putting together the lighting show, because all of those things take time, and you have to design the set lighting. So when the shows that people go and see, this is what it takes. It's days, sometimes weeks, to prepare everything and make it perfect and polished. When people come to see a show, it must be the best. When you go and see Beyonce, you enjoy yourself. When you go and see these R&B and pop artists, you're like, wow, ooh, wow, you see the lights. Oh, you listen to the quality of the music. Must be the same thing when you see a reggae or a dancehall artist,
of course,
or an Afrobeat artist.
Which is right.
To happen. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm performing in Seychelles with my full band. My name of my band is called Psalms 27. I call them that.
Okay.
Yeah, God.
Psalm 27.
Yeah, that's the name of my band.
Is there any special reason why Psalm 27?
Yeah, God, the Lord is our light and our salvation. Of whom shall we fear? Is the strength of our life. Of whom shall we be afraid? And we know that when the wicked and even our enemies come and rise upon against us, they shall do what? Stumble and fall. So it's a special Psalms to me that is just very close to my heart. And as a man, as a father, just every element of my life, I find that chapter in the Bible. That there's just certain things. I'm a spiritual man, you know? Not necessarily religious.
Definitely.
So me as a man, I talk with my Buddhist friend and my yogi, where they meditate and them know a certain time they might eat certain foods or drink certain things. And then me have my Muslim friend where them not deal with certain things and carry them woman a certain way and them carry them family a certain. And me have my Christian friend where so spirituality is bigger than religion. So because there's so many books, there's just so much to learn.
When exactly are you leaving Jamaica to Seychelles?
I'm leaving in a few days.
All right.
Yeah, that we'll be traveling, going through Nairobi, Kenya. And then we have to travel another 4 or 5 hours to Seychelles. Maybe 3.5 hours, I'm not sure. But it's going to be a long journey. Traveling from Jamaica to New York City, catch our next plane in New York City, overnight there, and then get up on the plane the next morning and go to Nairobi, Kenya.
All right. Gramps Morgan, is always a vibe talking to you. You understand me? It's always a vibe talking to you. And now I'm glad that finally we catch you in Jamaica.
Yeah, this is special and it means a lot to me.
Definitely.
When you told me you were going to be in Jamaica, my heart was filled because you did a lot for me when I came to Ghana the first time. I'll never forget that. And you must never forget.
Definitely.
You must tell your children about that day.
Of course.
When King Lagazee
came to the airport.
Yes, that is history.
Definitely.
Soon we will be very old men.
Definitely.
We will have lots of gray hair. And
yes.
But we must remember special moments like that because it's historical.
Definitely. Yeah. Wrapping up finally, what message you have for Africa and for that matter, Ghana?
Africa. One of the biggest messages I have for Africa is as we propel ourselves into the 21st century with technology and advancement of fashion and our society is growing and our infrastructures are growing, do not let go of our roots. Do not
let go
of our roots. Remember Kwame Nkrumah. Remember the ancestors. Remember the Ga Traditional Council, the Ewe, the Ashanti. Remember that. Remember our traditions. Because if we don't be careful as we propel into the 21st century, some of those things will begin to lose that. And I want to tell him this because I see this happening. No, because a lot of this work is people that have went out and say, hey, went to England and tell people, come to Ghana, come to Africa, go in America. And we see now, people like Idris Elba and Kojo going out, and we see all these superstars coming to Ghana. I feel so good. Because one time it was the Rasta man attack about Africa. So now it's becoming pop culture. So when they come, show them the route. Don't bring them to party and club. They can't get that in Miami or LA or London. Don't do that. This is my warning to my Africans at home. Show them the culture. Show them the substance. Show them the ancestral ways. Show them the food. The power of the food. The power of praying. The power of our culture, the traditions, and how you shake an elder hand. How you show respect to your elders. How you treat your brothers. Those things are important. These are the things we need to teach African British, African American, African German. If you're black, you come from Africa at some point.
Definitely.
So the same thing and the thing that you've seen Rastaman do over the years, we've always talked about Africa. Always yearned. There are Rastamans here in Jamaica that still have not gone to Africa. I pray that will change. And as the door of return, as we say, when you go to Elmina Castle, and when I went there, changed my life. You were also there
of course.
Time.
Of course.
Changed my life and remade me. So those curators, I send strength to them. And I pray the government to make sure you take care of those people and make sure the next who's in line that to make them learn these stories. Learn these stories that the transatlantic slave trade, those stories need to be shared and spread so that our children's children can know. Because if we forget, Lagazee,
worries.
The world is doomed. So Africa, we know. We're not waiting on them to tell us. We know because our DNA tell us. We feel it. When I come to Ghana, it's nobody tell me to come to Ghana.
Yes.
I was in my tour bus with Margaret and something said, go to Ghana. I don't know what it was, if it was the Boogeyman or if it was Steven Spielberg in a movie or it was a movie playing downstairs in my tour bus. But I jumped on the plane and said, my brother said, where you going? I said, I'm going to Ghana. And I went until now I end up turning a chief, chief of development with the Ghana Traditional Council, and they saw me as worthy enough to say, hey, come help to do development. And I'm trying my best. I'm pushing. I'm trying to build a hospital in Nima with my brethren Cash. Cash and you was one of the first people, and Reggie Rockstone and my sister Nina Atala. Those, by the way, and that energy come from Buju Banton when he was locked away and said, yo, I will help you. You're in Ghana. Let me give you some hospitality. Of course. I'll never forget I had a chef that came and cooked for me every morning and made me feel at home. Aquaba. So this is the energy where you feel. I felt welcome home, that I kept coming back till some people say, you in Ghana again? Don't be shocked, I'm home.
All right, Gramps. Dada son, thank you so much for your time and space.
Thank you, man.
It's always a pleasure.
Always Lagazee.
Yeah, man.
King Lagazee alone. Asaase Radio.
You don't know, so Asaase Radio, Yaad Settingz. My name is King Lagazee, Compound Studio in Jamaica. We out.